And now shifting focus to Iran. Amid violent protests, Iran alleges thousands of Starlink terminals smuggled in Iran, handed over to terrorist cells, claims peaceful protests against inflation and high cost of living turned into an operation against the regime by Israel and America. That's a big allegation by Iran against US and Israel. Iran claims that the protests turned violent because of the role of Israel and America. Iran has alleged that thousands of Starlink terminals have been smuggled in Iran and they have been handed over to terrorist cells. And Iran also claims that there were peaceful protests happening against inflation and high cost of living that were turned violent and into an operation against the regime by Israel and America. Big allegation by Iran against US and Israel. India Today Global's Pranay Upadhyay is now joining us with more details on this. Pranay, the war of words between Iran and US has escalated and fresh allegations by Iran. Iran has alleged that the peaceful protest turned violent because of the role of Israel and America.
Absolutely, Anjali. And these are not allegations. In fact, this is the reality because we have seen how Starlinks have been used in Iran during the protests, and large number of Starlinks have been, smuggled or sent into Iran. And we have seen how President Donald Trump has also acknowledged the fact that, and he said in as many words that I'm going to speak to Elon Musk and will ensure that large number of Starlink connections can be sent to Iran. So clearly, the United States or the Elon Musk led industry or his company has ensured that there remains a connectivity in Iran during the protest, and we have seen how Iran clamped, and in fact to a bit the Iranian authorities have also jammed the Starlink connections through the military jamming techniques and other technological methods. So clearly, there is not only a war of words, but tension still exists between the United States and Iran, and in fact, the movement in the CENTCOM region, especially the United States aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln in the region is being sent in the CENTCOM or Central Command region, which oversees the Iranian and the West Asian region. So clearly, there is a military posturing, there is an augmentation of force, and also the pressure is still being exerted on Iran.
Right, Pranay. In fact, Iran's intelligence ministry says that security forces have arrested 2 people linked to a foreign terrorist organization who were tasked with setting mosques on fire, among other acts, during the unrest in Iran. Give us more details on this.
Absolutely. There is a crackdown, Anjali, in Iran, and the Iranian authorities are investigating the riots because this is the allegation leveled by the Iranian government that these riots, these are not normal protesters, because protests started with people coming out on street and complaining about the inflation, complaining about the currency fluctuation, but now the Iranian government is alleging, and in fact they are investigating. They have arrested few people, and in last few days after the protests have died down or largely been contained, the Iranian government, Iranian police authorities are investigating the rioters. They have also used the facial recognition techniques, and they said there was a statement by the Iranian police chief saying that till the last protesters who actually set on fire the institutions, because we have seen in these protests that many institutions, many malls or the mosques have been set on fire, and in fact the Iranian national flag was torn down in some of the protests. So all these things will not go down easily, and the Iranian police authorities are investigating and they are cracking down. And in the same league, a few people have been arrested, and in fact they are alleging that these people infiltrated into Iran to cause this ruckus, and in fact they are the ones who are responsible for instigating people and creating this chaos in Iran and leading to the violent protests in Iran.
All right, Pranay, do stay with us. So these are the visuals from Iran. This is what unfolded on the streets of Iran. As you can see, arson and violence. And now Iran is also alleging that there were terrorist cells that were in contact with the US and Israel who were behind turning the peaceful protests over inflation into the violent protests against the regime. This is what all unfolded. As you can clearly see, vehicles set on fire, shooting by terrorists. And in these visuals, you can see the kind of unrest in Iran, the protests that turned completely violent. And now Iran alleges that these were peaceful protests by the citizens, which were turned violent by elements that were planted by US and Israel.